Yeah, so just settling in. Good. Feeling the shins. Feeling your shins connect to the ground. Forearms resting on the ground. Feel where your forehead connects to the ground. And give yourself the next minute to just make this transition to your yoga mat, into your yoga practice. So we start by connecting to our body. So the shins, the forearms, the forehead. And we use those sensations of being grounded and connected to help us arrive for our practice, arrive in the present moment. Take a few more breaths. Good morning, Jennifer. Welcome. We're starting in child's pose. From here, from child's pose, go ahead and walk your hands over to the right just a little bit. And find a little bit of side body stretch. So you'll feel the side stretch on your left side. Fingertips moving to the right. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Walk your hands back through center. And start to make your way over to the left. So fingertips walking to the left. Finding some length on your right side. One more breath in. One more breath out. Walk the hands back through center. And from hands and knees, glide forward. From child's pose, glide forward to hands and knees. And we'll start to move through some cat and cow stretches. Yeah, so just beginning to sync movement and breath. And as you sync your movements with your breath, feel free to add in any variations here. So allow these first spinal movements to be intuitive. Maybe the hips move from side to side or circle. And then in the next couple of breaths, we're just going to start to explore coming into downward facing dog when you're ready. And as you come into your first downward facing dog, you'll do the same thing. You'll explore it. You'll pedal your feet. You'll move your hips from side to side. You can play around with your hand placement. And come into your body. And you feel that you're in your body. Yeah, really nice. On your next breath in, glide forward into plank. And feel that the shoulders are over the wrists. The heels are lifted. The inner thighs are drawing upward. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Inhale, glide forward into plank pose. And find that connection to your core again. So pressing the hands into the ground, filling out the space between the shoulder blades. Inner thighs lift up, lower belly pulls up and in, and exhale, downward facing dog, hips lift up and back. So this time, glide forward into plank. And as you exhale, lower all the way onto the belly. Rest your forehead. Reach your arms back alongside your body and either keep them there or interlace your hands behind your back if that feels good. And lengthen and lift just your upper body off the ground. So pressing the tops of the feet down. Just waking up the muscles along the spine. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Good. When you're ready, make your way back to child's pose, letting the spine round and release. So tucking back. Yeah. Feel the belly press into the thighs. Feel the breath moving in and out of the body. Inhale, glide forward to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. From here, extend the right leg into the air. Keep the hips level. So instead of opening the right hip, keep them level. Press through the right heel. So it's going to invite you to use your abdominal muscles a little bit more. And then go ahead and shift forward as if you were going to come into a one-legged plank. Yeah, so shoulders over wrists. Draw the right knee toward your right tricep. Use your abdominal muscles here. Draw it in. Now press it back. Three-legged dog. Shift back. Good. Glide forward again. This time draw the right knee toward the left tricep. So crossing the body. You don't have to get there. You're just moving in that direction. Press back, three-legged dog. Good. Shift forward, right knee to the chest. So coming right in the center. Connect to your lower abdominals. Press back, three-legged dog. Good. Now using that connection to your core, draw your right knee forward and step your right foot between your hands. Drop the left shin to the ground, low lunge. Good. Now left shin presses into the ground. Right foot presses into the ground, and find that connection to the ground, that pushing into the ground to lift your body up. When you're ready, lift your arms up here. Okay, so you're not sinking forward with your hips. You're pressing into the ground and you're drawing up through your inner thighs, connecting to your lower belly. So it's a strong, low lunge. It's active. Good. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. Left hand stays down, right hand comes onto the right thigh. Good. Start to rotate your upper body to the right for a spinal twist. Good. Keep pressing down through your left shin. Keep finding that connection to your abdominals. Good. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your left knee, and walk your hands to the left so you're pivoting into a straddle. Yep, you got it. Good, find a straddle here. Couple breaths here. Legs are wide, outside of the feet pressing down, upper body folding forward. Good. Feel that stretch along the whole back side of the body. One more breath in. One more breath out. From here, walk the hands toward the left foot and start to bend the left leg. So you're coming into an inner thigh stretch. Yep. Right leg stays just as it is. We're just bending the left leg. So we're still facing the side and just getting into that right inner thigh a little bit. Good. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, start to turn your upper body toward the back of the mat and pivot into crescent lunge. So you're going to face the back of your mat. So your left leg is going to be the front leg facing the back of the mat. This time, right knee is lifted. And when you're ready, you can lift your arms up toward the ceiling. So we're switching legs. We're in crescent lunge, facing the back of the mat. Right heel is lifted. Left leg bends nice and deep. Settle in here. Good. Soften your shoulders, steady your gaze. One more breath in. Exhale, hands come together at the heart in prayer. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, move into a prayer twist. So rotating to the left, right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And really feel your right elbow press into the outside of the left thigh and lift your heart toward your hands. And continue to lift your right inner thigh toward the ceiling. One more big breath in. Exhale, both hands on either side of the left foot. Step back, downward facing dog. So now you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway down. Inhale through an up dog or a cobra or a locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left leg lifts into the air. Keep the hip level. Press through the left heel. Glide forward like you're coming into that one-legged plank. Left knee, left tricep. Press back, three-legged dog. Glide forward, left knee, right tricep. Find that cross. Press back, three-legged dog. Good. Slow and steady, shift forward, knee to the chest. Find that contraction in your abdominals. Press back, three-legged dog. Good. And now this time, step the left foot between your hands. Right shin comes down. Low lunge facing the back of your mat. When you find that connection to the ground, draw in and up, and then lift your arms up. So sometimes finding that connection to the ground, using your right shin to press down and draw forward. Using your left foot to press down and draw back can make this more powerful. One more breath in. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Bring your left hand on your left thigh and start to rotate your upper body to the left. You can use your left hand against your left thigh to help with the rotation, or you can reach your left arm up if you want. Make sure the hips aren't rocking to the side, but that you're really using your abdominal muscles to help with the rotation. Good, beautiful. One more big breath in. Exhale, both hands come to the inside of the left foot. And we'll start to walk the hands to the right, coming back into your straddle. Yep. So finding your straddle for a couple of breaths, legs wide, outsides of the feet pressing down, upper body folding forward, big back body stretch. 2 slow breaths here. Good, and then start to walk the hands toward the right foot and bend the right leg. Stay facing the side, so we've got that inner thigh stretch first. Deep bend in the right leg, outside of the left foot continues to press down. Yeah, so finding that sweet spot where you're getting into that left inner thigh. And then go ahead and continue to walk your hands to the right and make your way into crescent lunge facing the front of your mat. So this time, right leg is in front, left heel is high. Yeah. Arms come up when you're ready. Good, feet are on separate tracks, left heel is high. And settle in. Finding stability in the lower body. And a little more ease in the upper body. And one more big breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. Prepare for your spinal twist. Exhale, move into your spinal twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Find that connection and use it to move into your twist. Keep the left leg active. Yeah. One more slow breath in. Exhale, hands come to the top of the mat, step back, downward facing dog. So you always have the option of just staying in down dog and breathing here, or maybe taking child's pose. Otherwise, if you want more movement, more heat, go ahead and glide forward into plank. And as you exhale, lower all the way or halfway down. Inhale through up dog or cobra. And then we all meet back in downward facing dog. Really nice. From downward facing dog, walk your feet to your hands and find a standing forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet a little bit wider than hip width. Feel where your feet plug into the ground and find length in the back of the body. Soften the knees. On your next breath in, find a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Reach the arms toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Option to hold your down dog or move yourself through your version of chaturanga. Moving with your breath, slow and steady. One more breath in. One more breath out. Look forward between your hands. Move your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, arms extend upward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Move yourself through a chaturanga. And take your time, breathing, feeling the sensations arise in the body. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg up into the air. And this time, bend the right leg and let the hip open up if that feels good in your body. Now, if you're gonna let the right hip open up, press a little bit more into your right hand. So really connect yourself to the ground so that you can open up. Look forward between your hands. Step your right foot forward and come into warrior one. So feet are on separate tracks. Outside of the left foot is connected to the ground. Right leg is bent nice and deep. We'll start with our arms lifted. Good, nice deep bend in the right leg. Really nice. One more breath in with the arms extended. And then as you exhale, interlace the hands behind your back, broaden across your chest, and then fold your upper body forward. As you fold your upper body forward, press into the outside of the left foot more. So anchor yourself. One more big breath in. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Walk your hands to the left. We're coming back to straddle. Okay, so this time if you want to add a little movement side to side, you can explore that. Just a couple of breaths in your straddle. One more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, find a halfway lift, so lengthen your spine. And now pull your inner thighs toward one another as you come all the way up to standing. So they're not going to move. You're just using that drawing in and up. Take a breath here. And then turn your left toes to face the back of your mat. We're coming to warrior two. So it's a hip opener. Upper body is going to face the side of the mat. Left leg bends nice and deep. Arms open up like a T. Good. You guys look nice. Broaden across the chest. Deep bend in the left leg. Good. Steady your gaze. Sink into that left leg and let it work. Let it get warm here. One more big breath in. Legs stay just the same. Left forearm comes to your left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Now as you reach through your right fingertips, the outside of the right foot needs to press down even more, finding that long line of energy. One more big breath in. Exhale, both hands to the inside of the left foot. So now we face the back of the mat, right heel lifts. So coming into a variation of a lizard. So see if you can keep the right knee lifted here. And see if you can hug the inside of the left inner thigh to the outside of the left shoulder. So activating that inner thigh muscle again. So right inner thigh is going to lift toward the ceiling. Left inner thigh hugs the outside of the left shoulder. So lots of core work happening in our practice. Good. 2 more breaths here. Opening the hip, connecting to the core. One more big breath in. Exhale, find downward facing dog. You're facing the back of your mat. Good. Either stay in down dog, take a child's pose, or move yourself through a chaturanga if you want. In downward facing dog, facing the back of your mat, lift your left leg up. Bend your left knee, let your left hip open. And keep the shoulders squared as you open up across the left hip. Good. Now really mindfully step the left foot between your hands and set up for warrior one facing the back of your mat. The left leg is forward. Arms extend upward to start. Good. Warrior one facing the back of your mat. Left leg is in front. Good. Steady your gaze. One more breath with the arms extended. And then find that interlace of the hands behind your back. Good. Broaden across your chest as you breathe in. And as you exhale, lengthen your upper body over the left thigh or to the inside of the left thigh. As you fold your upper body forward, press more into the outside of the right foot. One more breath in. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the ground. Revisit your straddle. Hands walk to the right. Good. Take a couple of breaths to explore what feels good here. So it could be bending one knee and then the other. It could be finding a little bit of hip movement. Yeah, you can interlace the hands behind your back again. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Finding your way back to center. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Hands to the hips, come all the way up to standing. Turn your right toes to face the front of your mat, warrior two. So moving into hip opener. Deep bend in the right leg, arms open up like a T. Upper body faces the side. Good, deep bend in the right leg. And soften your upper body, steady your lower body. Good, right forearm lands on the right thigh. Sweep your left arm up and over, extended side angle. Right leg is strong. Outside of the left foot presses down as you reach through the left fingertips. One more big breath in. And then bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Coming into lizard pose. Widen your stance. Left heel is high now. And then maybe play around with hugging the inside of the right thigh to the outside of the right upper arm. Finding that connection to the inseam of your body. So if the left knee is lifted, really fire up the left inner thigh toward the ceiling. Yeah, so it's an active hip opener. 2 more breaths here. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then press back to downward facing dog. Let's all inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way onto your belly. And rest your forehead. Extend your arms back alongside your body, preparing for locust pose. On your next breath in, lengthen and lift upper and lower body. Inner thighs draw toward one another. Crown of the head reaches forward. Soles of the feet reach back. Whole back of the body is working here. Exhale, release. Rest your body on the ground. And locust pose number 2. You can choose the same variation, or you can interlace the hands behind your back. When you're ready, lengthen and lift. And so just toning the back of the body, opening up across the chest. Release the posture. And take a moment to just let your body settle onto the ground. Bring your hands next to your chest and make your way back to downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Look forward between your hands, move your feet to your hands. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip width and either connect your peace fingers and your thumbs with your big toes, or you can slide your hands all the way under your feet for gorilla pose. Inhale, find a little bit of length in your spine. And as you exhale, bend your elbows out to the side and fold your upper body. So the knees can be bent here. Maybe even really connecting your belly to your thighs. 2 more breaths. Good. Release your hands from under your feet. Find a halfway lift. And from here, we're just gonna step our right foot back just a couple of feet, finding pyramid pose. Okay, so my upper body is folding over my left thigh. I like to use blocks under my hands, you don't have to. My right toes are turned out just slightly, and I'm folding over my left thigh. And really find that you're pressing into both feet here. It's not just leaning into the left, you're also grounding through your right. And you're drawing that left hip back a little bit so that you can rotate the right hip forward a little bit. Get a little deeper into that left leg. Two more breaths here. And then we're going to start to journey through a little balance series here. One more breath in. One more breath out. So from here, just lift your right heel so you start to shift your weight forward and lift your right leg up into the air. So I'm just going to keep my right hip facing the ground. It's not a hip opener. I'm not lifting into standing split. I'm just lifting so that my right leg is parallel to the ground. Okay, so you can stay right here and work this pose. If you want, you can lift your hands to your heart and start to make it more like an airplane or a warrior 3. From here, we're going to slowly start to lift to standing. Drawing our right leg forward. Lifting our right knee. And just balancing on the left foot. And from here, we're going to come into a figure 4. So right ankle is going to land on the left thigh, and I'm going to start to bend my left thigh, sinking my hips back. So taking it into a hip opener. Now you can stay here and continue to balance, or you can reach your hands down to your blocks or the ground. Maybe straighten the left leg a little bit more, making it more of a hip opener. Okay, so you decide where you're taking this. So I like to straighten my left leg a little bit more. And I press my left foot into the ground and press my right knee away from my upper body. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good. Gently lift your upper body just a little bit to take that right leg out. And then it might feel good to come back into downward facing dog and just kind of shake out the legs. Move it, kitty. And if you want to move through a flow, you can do that. You need a child's pose, you can do that. And from downward facing dog, walk your feet forward and come back into a standing forward fold. Couple of breaths. You can keep the knees really bent here, maybe even wrap your forearms behind your legs if that feels good. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good. Find a halfway lift. And this time the left leg is going to step back for pyramid pose. So just switching sides here. So I have my right leg forward this time. If you were on the other side, you can switch. And just start to lengthen the upper body forward. So pyramid pose for a couple of breaths. We're good on time. Good. Think about drawing the right hip back a little bit and sliding the left hip forward. And lengthening the upper body over the right thigh. And one more breath in. One more breath out. From here, start to shift your weight forward. So maybe just lifting your left heel. And then slowly lifting that left leg up if you can. Left leg parallel to the ground. So again, it's not a hip opener. And again, maybe you just stay right here and work this posture. Or maybe it feels okay to lift your hands to your heart and hover here a little bit. One more breath in. And then we're going to slowly start to lift the upper body. Start drawing the left thigh forward. Hold here, balancing on that right foot, using your abdominals. And then we find our figure four, left ankle on top of the right thigh, sinking the hips back. And then either staying here or folding forward again. Starting to straighten that right leg a little bit more. Finding a nice big hip opener. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good. Find a little lift in your spine so that you can unhook the left leg. And then let your hands find the top of your mat. Walk your feet back to downward facing dog just to kind of pedal out and release the legs. Nice. Inhale and glide forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra, up dog, or locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Lower your knees to the ground. We're going to come into virasana. So hero seat. Knees are together, feet are apart so that you can sit between your heels. Now I can't do that, so I'm going to sit on my block. So if you have something you want to sit on, that's totally fine. If you don't have a prop to sit on and you need one, you can also just sit on your heels and just do a little different posture. So just Coming into virasana and just letting the palms rest on the thighs. You can rest them down or you can rest them up, whatever feels better. Spine is lifted, let your eyes close. And let's just take a couple of slow, deep breaths here. Just letting the energy start to settle and ground again. Feeling the body in space. Noticing how the body feels different from when we began our practice. And maybe the mind does too. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Slowly shift forward. Coming through your hands and knees. Just so you can kind of wiggle out each leg. And then maybe find one last downward facing dog just to make the legs feel good. And so if you like to practice half pigeon, go ahead and slide your right knee forward for half pigeon here. If half pigeon is not in your practice, after this, we're going to be heading toward our back. So you could come onto your back and do figure 4 on your back. So if you are not doing half pigeon and you need a visual, I'm just going to come onto my back and cross my right ankle on top of my left thigh. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. Okay, so we're just looking to get a little bit more into that outer hip, but now in a more assisted version with the ground. So if you're in half pigeon, use that connection to the ground to anchor you here. So the front of the left leg, the outside of the right leg, the forearms, the forehead, the breath. If you're doing figure 4 on your back, feel your back on the ground. Just a few more breaths on this side. you're in half pigeon, press back to downward facing dog just to prepare for the other side. If you're on your back in figure 4, take a moment to start the transition to the other side. And whenever you're ready, we'll come into our hip stretch on the left side. And settling in, finding some stillness as you land in that sweet spot of release. And see if you can really be exactly where you are, even if it's a little uncomfortable. So this is a great opportunity to settle in and practice maintaining your breath. Practice staying calm and grounded and focused, even when you feel uncomfortable. That's the practice here. Can you stay? Can you stay and be safe? Can you move through without getting up and leaving, without gritting your teeth, without lashing out? Just a few more breaths here. Start to make your way out of this posture, moving into a place that feels good to release, whether it's down dog or just windshield wipering your feet on your back. And wherever you're at, we're going to meet on our back. And from your back, just gently draw the knees in toward the chest. Let the knees circle a little bit, massaging your lower back. Come into a spinal twist of your choice, knees heading to the right. So if you want to do eagle legs, you can do eagle legs here. You can just stack your knees and do one leg, but knees heading to the right to start. Arms open up like a T. Bring the knees through center. Come into a spinal twist on the other side. Bring your knees back through center. And then make your way into your final relaxation posture. Okay. So corpse pose, any sort of restorative posture, or seated meditation if you want. We have 2 minutes here. As you settle in, take that time to do one last body scan. Make sure that you're really giving the weight of your body over to the ground beneath you. Feel that your body is being held. It's being held by the earth. Allow yourself to experience this feeling of being held, being still, and of being quiet. The next couple of breaths, begin to deepen your breath. And begin to bring a little bit of movement back into your body.